Does staring at my phone for hours every day serve any practical purpose? I recently weaned my two-year-olds off pacifiers. They were heavy users and I kept telling myself I was going to do it, but didn't. Then I took them to the dentist and after looking in their mouths, what was happening to their jaws through extended use of the pacifier, she said a word more terrifying to British ears in America than either Trump or audience participation orthodontics. The next day I told them the pacifier fairy had visited overnight and taken their pacifiers to give to the babies. Should I speak up when I see something offensive or false on social media? Read more. I mention this because their relationship with the pacifier was something I had cause to think about in the context of my own behavior this week. When I emerged from the subway in Lower Manhattan to find my phone had packed up en route. The call function was working, but I couldn't load the map or recover my emails. I stood there for a moment, on the corner of Broadway and Wall Street, trying to gather my thoughts. Where, exactly, was I? And where was I going? And how on earth was I going to get there when I hadn't written down the address of my meeting and had no immediate way of retrieving it? What struck me particularly in that moment was not the practical difficulty I found myself in, of how to proceed when I had lost my coordinates, but the existential unease I felt at being temporarily severed from my life online. I tried to remember if there is a directory enquiry service in the US and if so, what the number is, but this seemed so antiquated a concept I couldn't even remember the words. Directory enquiry. Then I wondered if I should stop someone on the street and ask to log on to my email on their phone. Then I simply stood there, in a state of paralysis, amazed at how feeble I had suddenly become. The point I'm trying to make is that when I see people holding their phones in the street, I don't think they are simply keeping them accessible to stare at in the 3 seconds of downtime while they wait for the lights to change. If I know my phone is in my bag but I don't know if it's in the side pocket or buried under the rubble of notebooks, keys, bureaus and old sandwich wrappers, a small but discernible anxiety is set off. When it is in my hand as I walk, I am noticeably happier. All of this is a measure of addiction, of course, and addiction in any context isn't healthy.